I go to bed at night and sometimes I cry myself to sleep.
It has been nearly 2 years now since a Venice man went missing. The plea his family has for the community. Plus, money set aside for new surveillance cameras for some areas of Sarasota. Why they're getting a mixed reaction in Newtown. With one cold case solved, how DNA technology is being used on other cases in the area. Your Suncoast News starts now.
You're watching ABC7 News at 11.
Hello and welcome. I'm Scott Dennis. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. Jacqueline has the evening off. Our top story tonight, this month, marks 2 years since a Venice man in a wheelchair was last seen. George Kuhn's mother and sister are talking tonight about his disappearance. ABC7's Rick Adams has a story from Venice.
Well, it certainly has been a very rough 2 years for the family of George Kuhn. They're still trying to figure out exactly what happened to him.
I go to bed at night and sometimes I cry myself to sleep.
That's a pain only a mother can feel. Emma Henriksen's son, George Kuhn, disappeared in September of 2016. The missing 57-year-old is in a wheelchair, crippled and brain damaged from a car accident.
Sometimes I don't want to answer because I don't want to know that he's gone. But we do need some closure.
The sister of George Kuhn, Fran Lacker, says Kuhn was last seen with this woman, Christine Wagner, in Hollywood, Florida, after meeting her online. Lacker says the woman turned out to be a scammer with a long criminal record, taking all his money before he vanished. The woman was questioned by police, but there was no physical evidence to arrest her.
The most difficult part about it is not knowing what happened to him. When you're used to somebody living with you every single day and feeding them all their meals for years and years and years, it's difficult.
Not only does Kuhn's sister and mother miss him greatly, his disappearance has been exceptionally difficult for his grown son and young daughter.
We have no answers for them. A little girl who's only 11 years old, who hasn't seen or heard from her dad in 2 years. That makes it really hard.
And if you do have any information regarding the disappearance of George Kuhn, you're being asked to contact the Venice Police Department immediately. Reporting from Venice, I'm Rick Adams, ABC7, your Suncoast News.
Rick, thank you. The city of Sarasota is getting ready to make a $100,000 investment to fight crime. The money is going to replace and repair surveillance cameras across the city. Sarasota Police Chief Bernadette DePino says working cameras could possibly deter crime from happening or record it when it does. Now city leaders are reviewing the camera system to figure out its future, but some Newtown residents believe it's a waste of money that should go to other projects.
It's not here to help us, it's to benefit them. It's just here just to monitor. Honestly, that's it. Nothing else to it, just to monitor our living and what we're doing.
I don't want to feel like we're being occupied. What I look at in my community, as long as we start creating positive space, you know, like the medical center over there, like the streetscape, like Atkins Park, you're not going to have those kind of incidents and crime incidents.
The $100,000 budget also includes hiring someone to oversee the maintenance of all those cameras once they are in operation. Even though rain and thunderstorms are a familiar sight here on the Suncoast this time of year, it's not something you should take lightly. That's why the city of Northport has installed a warning system that can detect when lightning poses a danger. Installed in the exact center of the city, the George Mullen Activity Center, it will detect lightning that strikes as far as 10 miles away and issue a 15-second horn blast.
Lightning isn't anything to play with. When you may think you're safe under a tree, you're not.
Remember, you can download our ABC7 weather app for life-saving weather alerts wherever you are. Just go to your app store and search for WWSB First Alert Weather to find it. A no swim advisory is now in effect on Lombok Key beaches. Sarasota County health officials issuing the advisory because of harmful bacteria levels in the water. The beach is still open, but swimming and other water activities are not recommended. The health department will get another round of test results tomorrow. Some big storms across the area this evening. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan with our first alert forecast tonight. Bob?
Yeah, storms were enhanced by the fact that we warmed up today, Scott, to 94 degrees here. 2 degrees shy of a record. They set a record in Tampa at 96 degrees. A lot of energy in the atmosphere because of that heat. On top of that, a little tropical wave making its way by across South Florida right now, enhancing the storms. We had that nice east wind. We had the sea breeze. All of it set up for an incredible line of thunderstorms that blew on through Manatee County specifically, and now Sarasota County again getting another round of some energy that was left over near Venice and from near Minnesota stretching northward to Nokomis and near Osprey now. That's working its way to the west. Pretty heavy rainfall there, generating just a few lightning strikes over the last 10 minutes or so near Venice and also near Venice Gardens. Some pretty heavy rainfall there. That will continue to work off toward the west and should be over in the next, I'd say, half hour or so. It'll be out in the Gulf of Mexico. All that rough weather that was around Manatee County, Braden and Palmetto, and up near, again, to the north of Palmetto. Boy, a lot of rainfall fell across near Palmview and Gillette, and also Anna Maria Island had quite a bit of rain as well. You can see Palmview getting over 3 inches there, 2.7 in Palmetto, and Braden at 2 inches. Well, much more in our forecast. Talk about the tropics. Several areas we're watching. Details coming up in a few minutes. Scott.
All right, Bob, thank you. The country could hear from Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh's accuser next week. Senate Republican leaders gave Christine Blasi Ford until tomorrow morning to confirm if she'll testify about her sex assault allegation. ABC's Kenneth Moten has the latest from Washington.
You're unlawfully demonstrating. If you do
Protests and arrests on Capitol Hill Thursday. Demonstrations against Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh.
We believe Dr. Blasi!
And in support of his accuser, Christine Blasi Ford, who's now willing to tell the Senate Kavanaugh sexually assaulted her when they were in high school in the 80s. Blasi Ford's attorney writing in an email to the Senate Judiciary Committee. She wishes to testify, provided that we can agree on terms that are fair and which ensure her safety. The California professor and her children have been forced to leave her home to escape harassment and death threats. Her lawyer says she is willing to answer questions next week, but a hearing on Monday is not possible. GOP Chairman Chuck Grassley has said Blasi Ford could appear publicly or privately.
And we've gone beyond what we did the first day of just having the hearing she asked for, the open hearing she asked for, because we heard she might not want to come in that environment. So we offered one more closed session or 2 ways of doing it by transcript.
Senate Republicans refused Blasi Ford's initial demand for an FBI investigation. Her lawyer says that investigation is still her strong preference, but she is no longer insisting on it.
Because she's telling the truth. Someone who is lying does not ask the FBI to investigate their claims.
Kavanaugh has denied the allegation against him. In a new letter to the Senate Judiciary Committee, Kavanaugh said he looks forward to testifying and clearing his name. Kenneth Moten, ABC News, Washington.
Happening in Florida, Congressman Vern Buchanan is calling on leaders to reauthorize the Violence Against Women Act before it expires at the end of the month. The act became law 2 decades ago to provide grants for counseling, battered women's shelters, and domestic violence hotlines. More than 100,000 cases of domestic violence were reported in Florida last year alone. Now, Democrats have introduced a new long-term Violence Against Women Act, but the Republican-controlled Congress is expected to pass a short-term extension of the current act. The same DNA technology that helped close the 1999 Deborah Dalzell murder case this week is now being used by other Suncoast law enforcement agencies in hopes of solving other decades-old cold cases. Captain Jonathan Todd and his team of detectives at Sarasota Police Department are actively investigating now a 30-year-old murder case. They used the latest DNA technology to potentially identify a suspect in that case. Captain Todd won't reveal which case it is to prevent possibly jeopardizing the investigation, but he says without that DNA technology, detectives probably would not have been able to identify a suspect.
It's very exciting for us as investigators to marry kind of the old-fashioned, gumshoe detective work with technology and the new advancements. It's just amazing what they're able to do now, so it's really exciting for us.
The arrest in the Dalzell case has inspired Northport police to look into using DNA evidence to identify victims of Daniel Conahan, a suspected serial killer who was linked to more than a dozen murders in Southwest Florida during the mid-1990s. A Braden River High School football star is cleared to play this season, but not in the postseason. Knowledge McDaniel was previously ruled ineligible for the entire season for receiving impermissible benefits from a booster club member. Earlier this month, an appeals committee ruled he was eligible for 3 non-district football games. But today, a judge ruled McDaniel eligible for the final 6 regular season games, but no playoffs if Braden River qualifies for the postseason. Straight ahead, we'll get back to Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan with our first alert forecast for the upcoming weekend. And then 4 people are dead following a shooting rampage at a Maryland drugstore distribution center. What we know so far about the suspected shooter. A student pilot is in custody. The scare at Florida's Orlando Melbourne International Airport that put him behind bars.
About every 3 minutes in America, someone is diagnosed with a blood cancer. Light the Night brings together survivors and supporters to bring light to the darkness of cancer and to help fund life-saving research. Our goal is a world without blood cancers, and we're lighting the path to cures. The discoveries made in blood cancer research have led to breakthrough treatments for many cancers and other serious diseases. Help defeat the darkness of cancer. Join Light the Night today.
Picking out a new ceiling fan? That's a do-it-yourself. Installing your new ceiling fan?
No.
That's a don't do it yourself. For ceiling fans, rewires, or anything electrical, play it safe. And call on the trained electricians from your locally owned Mr. Sparky. It's no accident that so many of our customers are repeat customers. Trust Mr. Sparky for all your electrical repairs.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Did you know you could get life insurance for less than 32 cents a day? With Guaranteed Acceptance whole life insurance through TrueStage, you can get up to $25,000 in protection with a single phone call. TrueStage can help free your family from immediate financial stress when you're gone.
Utility bills, mortgages, car payments, those are a lot of things that can add up pretty fast.
And even if you're on a fixed income, prices fit your budget, starting at less than 32 cents a day. Plus, your price will never increase and your benefit will never decrease. And with no medical tests or health questions, you cannot be turned down for any reason. Call 1-800-842-7189. Now, for a free, no-obligation quote, TrueStage offers plans to fit your budget. Help protect your family from immediate financial burdens after you're gone with Guaranteed Acceptance whole life insurance through TrueStage. Call 1-800-842-7189. Now.
Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. ABC7's own Chef Judy serves up her favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blogs, step-by-step videos, and Suncoast Restaurant Guide. You'll find it all at mysuncoast.com/dining. Watch Suncoast View weekdays at 9 a.m. on ABC7.
Since 1972, Sleep King has provided quality mattresses and accessories at the best discounted prices available. Top brands like Simmons, Sealy, Serta, Beautyrest, iComfort, and more. With available free delivery, free financing, and free setup and removal. For a comfortable night's sleep with same-day delivery, even if we have to carry it on our backs. Trust Sleep King of Sarasota. Buy it today, sleep on it tonight.
Now to that developing story in Maryland tonight, where investigators are now trying to piece together what led to a deadly workplace rampage. It happened at a drugstore distribution warehouse in Aberdeen. Police say a woman described as a temporary worker opened fire before taking her own life. Tonight, 4 people, including the shooter, are dead. 3 more survived. ABC's David Curley gives us insight into the ongoing investigation.
Sheriff's deputies and SWAT teams swarming the warehouse just after 9.
I'm not exactly sure what's going on at location. We're being advised to be an active shooter.
It's a Rite Aid distribution center 30 miles northeast of Baltimore. And the lone shooter, a 26-year-old female, Snosha Mosley, with a 9mm handgun and extra magazines she owned.
So you have a shooter with us. Okay. Is the shooter a patient? Yes, for sure.
After firing outside, Mosley, a temporary employee, moved inside the building, then shot herself in the head, dying later. Her shots hitting 6 people, 3 killed, all thought to be employees.
3 people are suffering from injuries which they are expected to survive.
Authorities say they don't have a motive. The 26-year-old had started her normal workday. According to the Associated Press, an employee told his wife the woman was having an argument with someone and went off, firing, but not necessarily targeting specific people.
I can't even fear. I was just so scared.
This shooting coming just a day after others. A Wisconsin gunman opening fire at his cubicle, injuring 4 before police fatally shot him. And another suspect in Pennsylvania also taken down by police after shooting 4 in a courthouse there.
We've got a lot of problems in this country to solve.
to bring these kind of incidents to a closure.
David Curley reporting there. A student pilot is in custody after police say he hopped a security fence early Thursday at Orlando Melbourne International Airport, boarded a passenger jet that was undergoing maintenance. That's where employees working on the plane saw Nishal Sankat on the flight deck, grabbed him, held him down, and then took him off the plane. Police arrived and arrested the intruder. Melbourne police say the student at Florida Institute of Technology in Melbourne is a dual citizen of Trinidad and Tobago and Canada and had entered the U.S. legally.
He has no criminal history. He does possess, I think I said, a Florida driver's license and also a commercial pilot license. He's currently in our custody. He continues to be interviewed. So some of the details that we're trying to get as to his intent and what are those things that he was trying to accomplish.
Authorities say Sankat was unarmed and carried no explosives. And there's no links to terror groups have been discovered yet. And then airport police say he will be charged with trespassing on airport property, burglary, and attempted theft of an aircraft. Caught on camera, a Massachusetts teacher is now in trouble for putting his toddler into a game machine at a New Hampshire shopping mall in order to steal the prizes inside. Witnesses at the mall recorded Anthony Helinski encouraging the girl to hand out the prizes from within that Keymaster game. She eventually climbs out of the machine. Helinski has been charged now with theft, trespassing, and child endangerment. He's also been placed on leave from his job as a middle school teacher. Today marks 1 year since Hurricane Maria ravaged Puerto Rico, and the island is still struggling to recover. Today, residents observed a day of mourning with commemorations and protests on the island. The economic cost, nearly $140 billion. The cost in lives, according to the official estimate, nearly 3,000 people. A follow-up now on the aftermath of Hurricane Florence. This is new aerial video. It shows while the water has begun to recede in places like Pollexville, North Carolina, portions of that town are still underwater. Boating is still the main mode of transportation through Pollexville, where the floodwaters had left some spots almost 20 feet deep. Now it's a different picture in Wilmington, North Carolina, which is again accessible after a week of wind, flooding, and downed trees from Hurricane Florence. At one point, all of the roads into that city were cut off. So, trying to get back to normal in parts of North and South Carolina.
Wilmington had 25 plus inches of rainfall in just a short period of time, and we talked about this. We posted it on our Facebook page. It looks like there may be another system developing kind of from the remnants of what was Florence and heading back toward North Carolina. I don't think it's going to make it, but we're going to talk about that in just a minute. Here's what's going on with our gorgeous weather. ABC7 Tower Cam showing a beautiful sunset tonight. Again, just before the big storms rolled into Manatee County. You can see the beginning of that right there on Lombo Key. Storms were heavy, producing over 3 inches of rainfall in just a short period of time. Near Palmetto and just to the north. We had some wonderful photos sent in. Again, this one from Dylan John Wade Cox, who got his camera back, and he's been shooting all sorts of pictures all over the place, and he's pretty happy about this one. A pretty nice shot with heavy rainfall and lightning at the same time. So everything's coming back into play now. High pressure building over the Carolinas. They need the dry weather. That's going to bring it. High pressure for a little while anyway will bring us that east to northeasterly wind, which always has a tendency to heat things up here. And it was hot. High today was 94. Close to a record. Now, the big storms that blew through earlier in Manatee County have since moved on. There's still some energy left in Venice near Osprey and Nokomis. That's heading off to the west. It should be out of here fairly soon. Still some lightning being generated there, but I don't think it'll be around too much longer. As it heads out into the Gulf of Mexico, you may get quite a few lightning strikes, but right now near Venice, downtown, Venice Gardens getting some heavy rainfall, and even into South Venice. All that pushing off toward the west at around 10 miles an hour. As I mentioned, it came pretty heavy, especially in Bradenton, Palmetto, up to just to the west of Parrish, and places to the north there. The forecast is calling for generally fair skies once we get rid of that rain down south in Venice and also near Osprey. But we'll look for showers to develop along that sea breeze front. Now tomorrow, that sea breeze front is not going to have a chance to get too far inland. And what will happen is that east to northeast wind will collide pretty close to the coast. And I think a little earlier too, although this model doesn't depict a lot of rainfall, I think we'll still see a little bit more than this is showing at this point. and then there'll be scattered showers up until around game time. So the start of some of the games tomorrow, high school football action, could be a little bit delayed at the beginning, but I think most of it should be over by the first quarter or so. Tomorrow is going to be that way. Saturday will be that way. Sunday will be that way. In fact, we're going to stay in this pattern with afternoon and evening thunderstorms, I think, over the upcoming days. Now, not again, right? Could Florence or something like Florence develop again? Well, it's unlikely, but this is the cold front that actually picked Florence up off the northeast United States and moved out into the Atlantic. And along this cold front, there are times systems can develop. We'll check this out. If it were to develop, it would get another name. It would not be Florence because the low pressure circulation of Florence has dissipated, but the remnant's still there and looks rather impressive. The National Hurricane Center watching it. This is the general motion. It'll take a south to west motion. They're the Carolina coast, but there's a front that's expected to move in. More than likely, it will catch that and carry it off into the open waters of the Atlantic, but we'll watch it nonetheless. Tropics are busy, too. We have that system. We have another one east of the islands here showing some signs at 10%. Not much of a chance of that developing. A real good chance of this developing at 60% as it moves to the south. And then there's another one off the coast of Africa that we're watching as well. This one has a 40% chance developing as it makes its way toward the west. So lots of action going on, and temperatures have cooled as a result of those rains that moved on 3. Currently, it's 77, and skies are starting to clear at the airport. The high today, there it is, 94, close to the record of 96. It did get up to 96 in Tampa. Winds will be rather light tomorrow, at least during the morning. We'll start off at 5 to 10 knots. The extended forecast then 60% chance on Friday afternoon. Saturday still pretty high. Fall moves in Saturday night just before 10 o'clock, but it stays like summer for us. Now, as far as photos are concerned, we had some photos sent in. This one from Chloe Convoy. She was offshore catching a nice snapper right there, and she was having some fun. She does our digital work here at ABC7. And you got to look at this. This is not catching fish, but painting fish at the Waterline Marina. Anna Maria right there, and Kelly Moore Hunt. She runs this fishing program, and people get a chance to get out there and paint their favorite fish right there. It seems to be a popular activity. With red tide around, you got to paint fish instead of catching them. Scott?
All right, great idea. Thank you so much, Bob. Tampa Zoo is celebrating the birth of a white rhino. Zoo Tampa at Lowry Park sharing these photos of their newest resident. It's not named yet, but the little one was born last week and is the 6th successful southern white rhino birth and the 9th rhino in the zoo's history. Guests may catch a glimpse of the adorable rhino calf on the zoo's safari tram ride, which is included in daily admission. Coming up, we'll tell you about the price changes at the 3 biggest U.S. airlines. But first, here's what's coming up on Jimmy Kimmel.
Kimmel's all new. We truly are #blessed. With the hilarious Mike Epps, plus Dodger Matt Kemp, Wiz Khalifa, and it's the Honorable Judge James.
Is your real name Jacques LeBlanc?
It's French.
Any relation to Matt LeBlanc from Friends?
No. Kimmel, new tonight on ABC.
It's Venice Toyota's monumental model year-end clearance. Rates are rising. For a limited time, 0%. New Toyotas, $8,000 off. With Camrys and Corollas, your choice from $19,900 to $15,000. Shop 24/7 at VeniceToyota.com.
Helping families with mesothelioma is all we do. My firm has been offering a free book on mesothelioma for over 10 years. Since that time, hundreds of people with mesothelioma have trusted us to represent them. We have local offices throughout the U.S. and there is no risk to you. Mesothelioma really is all we do. Call us at 1-800-485-6000. That's 1-800-485-6000. Or go to mesoonlylaw.com.
This is an important message for anyone with Medicare. You may be eligible for an all-in-one Medicare plan that combines hospital, medical, and prescription drug coverage together with extra benefits that may include dental, vision, hearing aids, and much more. Some of these plans have a $0 monthly premium regardless of your income. That's right. For one low plan premium, or in some cases a $0 premium, you may be able to get coverage for your hospital visits, doctor appointments, prescription drugs, routine dental care, eyeglasses and contact lenses, hearing aids, and possibly more. Today may be the first time you've heard about this type of Medicare plan. The advisors at the Medicare.com helpline are licensed insurance agents who will explain more when you call. Call now to see if you qualify. Call the number on your screen now. Call now to see if you qualify for for these benefits. You worked hard for your Medicare. Now is the time for your Medicare to work hard for you. Not affiliated with or acting on behalf of any government agency or program.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Need more space in your place? The More Space Place can help with Murphy beds that disappear to reveal a home office, living room, or den. Custom closets with designated areas for your shoes, bags, wardrobe, and accessories. Custom-built entertainment centers, garage storage systems, and more. The More Space Place has 3 showrooms next to Sonny's on US 41 South in Sarasota, on Lakewood Ranch Boulevard just south of State Route 64 in Bradenton, and on Tamiami Trail next to Panera Bread in Port Charlotte. Put more space in your place at the More Space Place.
It's Venice Toyota's monumental model year-end clearance. Rates are rising. For a limited time, 0%. New Toyotas, $8,000 off. RAVs and Highlanders from $26,900 to $2,900. Shop 24/7 at VeniceToyota.com.
In consumer news, it will cost you more to check a bag on any of the 3 biggest U.S. airlines. American Airlines announcing today it is raising fees for checking bags by $5 a piece each way, matching Delta and United. The first bag, now $30. The second one, $40. Those are each way, so checking 2 bags on a round trip will cost $140. High-spending frequent flyers and customers who book with the airline's credit card typically avoid those fees. JetBlue, Air Canada, and WestJet also have raised bag fees, but Southwest lets customers check 1 or 2 bags, still for free. Wells Fargo is expected to cut as many as 26,500 jobs over 3 years. CEO Tim Sloan says it's due to changing customer preferences, which includes a rise in online banking. Regulators slapped large fines on the bank after a wave of scandals over the past 2 years, including the creation of millions of fake bank accounts. The bank also announcing earlier this year it plans to shut down 800 more branches by the year 2020. In less than an hour, Apple's latest iPhones are about to go on sale, but what about your old iPhone? What's the best way to cash in? ABC's Rebecca Jarvis is tracking your money.
iPhone XS, iPhone XS Max.
They're Apple's latest, greatest iPhones, the XS and the XS Max, about to go on sale. And if you're looking to upgrade and sell an old device, the clock is ticking to get top dollar.
Once Apple announces a new iPhone and it goes on pre-sale, the value of the older model does drop pretty fast.
Once those shiny new models are unveiled, the previous generation phones can drop as much as $100 on the resale market. Experts say you can sell your old phone using sites like Gazelle, Buyback World, and Declutter, where tonight we found the going price for a 64-gig iPhone X, $490. Or you could try to make more money by setting your own price on eBay.
The longer you wait, the less you're going to get for your phone.
Rebecca Jarvis reporting there. And now, if you're planning to resell an old phone, it pays to shop around. Everything from the carrier to the condition determines what you will make on that phone. Well, that's consumer news. We'll have tonight's winning lotto numbers right after this.
Call to see if you qualify to enroll in a Medicare Advantage plan right now. At Humana, we believe great things are ahead of you when you start with healthy. And part of staying healthy means choosing the right Medicare plan. Humana can help. With Original Medicare, you're covered for hospital stays and doctor office visits when you're sick, but keep in mind you'll have to pay a deductible for each. A Medicare supplement plan can cover your deductibles and coinsurance, but you may pay higher premiums than you do with other plans, and prescription drug coverage isn't included. But with an all-in-one Humana Medicare Advantage plan, you could get all that coverage plus Part D prescription drug benefits, all for an affordable monthly plan premium, and in some areas, no plan premium. It's all described in this free book. Call for yours and discover how an all-in-one Medicare Advantage plan from Humana could save you money. There is no obligation and the book is free. Call or go online right now.
Each day, researchers make discoveries that bring us closer to the moment when all cancer patients can become survivors. Their progress is made possible with the help of clinical trials. Clinical trials are the brightest torch researchers have to light their way towards better treatments. And if you've been diagnosed with cancer, they may be your brightest ray of hope. Speak with your doctor and visit standuptocancer.org/clinical trials to learn more. Together, we can stand up for all of us.
Everyone's buzzing about Suncoast View, live at 9 on ABC7.
I like watching the Suncoast View.
I like the Suncoast View.
The cooking segments, I love the recipes. The theater segments are terrific.
Join Stephanie Roberts, Linda Carson, and Joey Panic on Suncoast View for hot topics, everyday issues, celebrities, food, fashion, fitness, and everything in between. Nothing is off limits.
They're just fun.
For smart, fun talk in the morning, watch Suncoast View, live at 9. Weekdays on ABC7. The Florida Lottery winning numbers are sponsored by Frontier Fios.
In entertainment news tonight, Veronica Mars has another mystery to solve. Hulu has ordered 8 new one-hour episodes of the series starring Kristen Bell. The actress announced on the news today on Instagram. The show premiered back in 2004. The original series centered around a teenage detective. Hulu has also secured the streaming rights to that series. CBS says Jordan Peele will host a reboot of The Twilight Zone for its video-on-demand service. He takes over the narrator role from the original series creator Rod Serling. That series ran from 1959 to 1964. The all-new Twilight Zone is coming next year, 2019. I was reading about Rod Serling tonight. Did you know he died at the age of 50?
No kidding.
He was really young. He had a bad heart attack.
Yeah, I would not have known that, no.
Yeah. All right, thanks so much for joining us. Jimmy Kimmel's next. Have a good night, everyone.